As the movie goes on, we follow Ben Whittaker, a 70-year-old widower who is excited about retirement. Besides practicing yoga, going to his son's house, and playing golf, he does a lot of exciting things. He often goes on trips to make the most of his retirement savings. He does this every day as a way to fight the feelings of loneliness he has since losing his wife. One day, as he walks home, he sees an open job position that interests him. About the Fit is a fast-growing online clothing store in Brooklyn that is making news by selling its items online. The business wants to hire a senior intern who can motivate and help other young workers. He quickly sends in his application for the job, using his many years of experience in business and marketing to help him. Through 4 decades, he was an important part of a business that printed phone books. Besides that, he thinks that his retirement is pretty dull. To sum up, Ben has been hired as a senior intern at the company. A senior intern shows up at work, and many of his co-workers are surprised to see him. Due to his age, some people even don't think much of him. Ben is not at all bothered by this because he believes in his ability to use what he has learned. Besides that, he really loves taking on new tasks. A short time later, Ben gets an email telling him that he needs to work with Jules Ostin, the CEO of the company. In her office, Jules quickly tells Ben that she is worried about how he is doing, saying that it is because he is getting older. However, Jules' words don't stop Ben in the least. It's getting easier for him to promise Jules that he will do his best to adapt and meet his work goals. He helps a lot of workers with their work. At the same time, Jules is talking with her investor about the chance of another CEO being hired to take her place at the startup. The investor can tell that she is having a hard time keeping up with everything. The workers don't like Jules either because she's always late to meetings. She has to accept the choice in the end, even though she doesn't agree with it. She will soon meet with the person who wants to be CEO. One morning, around 7 a.m., Ben gets to work early and is ready to deal with the messy desk that Jules had mentioned earlier. At that very time, he knows just how to make Jules happy, especially since she just found out that she might be replaced by a new possible CEO. Later, he meets Fiona, his new crush. She is a middle-aged woman who works as a massage therapist in the office and shares his experiences. Ben sees Jules' driver having a drink after a long day at work. So, he gets the driver to let go of the wheel and drives himself, making sure Jules gets home safely and avoids any possible problems. As they were traveling, the investor called out to Jules out of the blue and gently reminded her that she had a meeting coming up with the first CEO candidate. Ben waits calmly for his boss just outside the door while Jules is in a meeting. Ben gets Jules some soup when the meeting is over because he knows she's hungry. Jules tells her investor that the first option for CEO didn't fit well with the startup's goals. When they get to Jules' house, Ben cheers her up by telling her that she has built a great business and knows what to do next. After that, her husband Matt and daughter Paige will greet her. And it turned out that her husband made the big choice to quit his job and stay home with their daughter, just as the Fit started to pick up speed. As time goes on, it looks like their marriage is falling apart as they grow apart. The next morning, Ben gets a request to help pick up Jules again because her normal driver isn't available. Matt greets him when he gets there, and he takes a moment to introduce himself to Paige. Ben showing up at Jules' house so early in the morning surprises her. Before going to work, they drop Paige off at school. Ben asks Jules about different parts of her personal life along the way. She asks one of her workers in a quiet voice to switch Ben's internship to someone else because she doesn't like how attentive he is. On that particular night, Ben works late into the night, and the only person in the office with him is Jules. Jules invites him to dinner and says that she didn't choose the other CEO candidate from the meeting because he still didn't fit the needs of the business. It's an interesting turn of events when Ben finally says that he used to work in the building where the Fit is now. Ben calls the building his second home, even though it feels very different from his first house. As soon as Ben gets to Jules' house, they should stop talking. The next day, when Jules goes to the car, she finds that Doris has taken Ben's place as her driver. After hitting another car and almost hitting a building, she really struggles behind the wheel. Because of this, Jules decides to drive to the gym. Soon after she gets there, she quickly says sorry to Ben and begs him to come back to work with her, which he gladly does. At that point, he starts to love Jules very much. He also acts as a father figure for many of the younger workers, giving them advice on things like love, making friends, and finding a good mix between work and life. After one of them has been kicked out by their parents, he lets them stay at his house. One time, Jules sent his mother an email that was very critical because she was always getting in the way of her work. This put him in a pretty awkward position. It's clear that this event makes her very scared as she realizes this. She then asks Ben and a few of her co-workers to help her delete the email. If Ben's mom isn't home right now, he might sneak into her house and take her laptop. In the end, they are able to carry out Ben's plan, but when the alarm goes off as they enter the house, they are very close to being caught by the police. In order to celebrate their success, Jules plans to take them to a bar for the night. After that, Ben and Fiona spend a lot of valuable time together, and in the end, they fall in love. That same day, Jules asks Ben if he can go to a birthday party with Paige since Matt is sick. Soon after Paige gets to the party, she feels sick out of the blue, so she and her friend leave early. On his way home, Ben sees Matt having a private moment with another woman in a car, which makes him smile. During this time, Matt asks Ben what he thinks about Jules' opinion of the possible choice for CEO. He says that Jules didn't like the choice at first, but in the end she accepted it because it was good for her business and the investors, and it gave her more time to spend with her husband and kids. There is nothing he wants more than for Jules to be happy, no matter what she does. When Ben gets back to the office and hears about what Matt did earlier, his eyes drop. People who work with Jules and Ben start to notice that something is different about him. Still, he keeps saying that everything is fine. Ben wants Jules to have fun and take a break from work while she is in San Francisco to meet a possible founder. After getting married, they talk about their lives together at the hotel. It comes as a surprise when Jules says she already knows about Matt's affair, but she has decided not to talk to him about it because she doesn't think she's ready. Ben waits calmly for Jules to finish her meeting with the last CEO candidate the next morning. She thinks this candidate is a good fit for the company after the process is over, but she will talk to him again tomorrow before making a final choice. When Jules gets home, she tells Matt about her plan to hire a possible CEO. She thinks that this will give her the time and space she needs to fix her marriage. She asks Matt to have a deeper conversation with her about their life as a married couple. Following their talk, Jules is very upset about what they learned, and Matt feels terrible guilt. After a while, Jules goes to Ben's house to let him know that she is now sure of her choice. On the other hand, Ben strongly urges her to think about how this will significantly affect her power and her enthusiasm for the company. This might also stop her from being creative. At the end, Jules thanks Ben for helping her remember all the things she has done for the corporate world. Soon after, Matt shows up at the office out of the blue and tells her she should change her mind about her final choice. He feels shameful that Jules was willing to give up everything she had for him when he thinks about what he did. He finally tells her that he will be there for her as she follows her dreams. After they've made up, Jules goes to find Ben, who is having a great time with his Tai Chi group. She is excited to tell Ben that her feelings have changed, and he is thrilled to hear it. She finally takes some time to relax, and she joins him in Tai Chi. This is an important step toward balancing her life.